So Jan Blachowicz, welcome to In the Guard.
Let's give Tony does the intro today.
All right, everybody, welcome to In the Guard. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk about everything MMA, the latest, the greatest, what happened last night, what's happening next week. We're going to talk about how much salt Mike is carrying around today. As you can see, the look on his face. So what's it all about? What's going on here?
Robbery.
Slap yourself. Jones says slap yourself, Mike.
John Jones is really tough on Twitter. All right. John, you're about to go up a weight class real soon. You're going to figure out you're not what you think you really are. And you're going to have to come back down to fight Izzy because you're going to realize you ain't one of the big boys, right? Coming from a true heavyweight, you ain't one of them. But anyway, to the travesty of last night, it just amplifies how terrible MMA judging is.
This is a pure example of when emotion overrules facts.
Yeah, and I have my case laid out, the evidence line, exhibit A, B, C, D. So whatever way you want to twist this one at me, I'm ready. So let's start with the main event, right? The biggest robbery. The death of the 205 division.
And if you guys are with us last week, you know how Mike was just all over Izzy. Oh, you should have seen the stuff he sent in the group chats.
It's over.
He's like, he ain't touching him. He ain't doing this.
We just basically lost any validity in any kind of decision in MMA history right now. Yesterday, this showed off, right? So we had the main event, the last style Bennett, the greatest fighter of all time, versus some guy named Jan. It's a girl's name. But he's one of the Bradys, the middle Brady that nobody liked. It kind of makes sense because nobody likes him. And yeah, I think Blachowicz is Polish for Brady. So Jan Brady versus Israel Adesanya. Israel stepping up to the 205 division, he should be champ right now. But again, judges are full of shit. John,
how can people hear you from that far away on the island? I don't fucking know.
I have no problem being on an island of correctness. An island of correctness, not in this where these little sheep herders, that want to follow the crowd that hate Izzy because he's so great. They can't handle someone being that good, and they want to bring greatness down, and that's why they're cheering Izzy's robbery last night. I won't call it loss. Izzy won rounds 1, 2, and 3.
Is it that, or he just simply lost the fight?
Still undefeated.
Dominated in rounds 4 and 5.
Let's break this down right now. I'm going to show you how Tony agrees with me, but he don't want to admit it because he wants to be on the side of the winner, of the supposed
Jody,
winners.
Can we get the stats up here?
He's afraid of the truth.
Damn, almost double.
That's all around 4 and 5. And there's no debate coming from me.
3 takedowns.
Let's break this down round by round. Round 5.
There is a round by round.
Yeah, go to the round by round.
Yeah, round by round. Round 5, right?
Significant strikes. Round 1, 18 to 13, Jan.
Round
2, 23 to 21, Jan.
Go ahead.
Round 3, 24 to 21, Jan, and a takedown. Round 4, a takedown, 14 to 11.
Well, round 4 and 5, there's no debate. We both are in agreement.
28 to 12, 1-0.
Listen.
So, Mike, we gotta
no, listen.
Stand up from your table, bro.
Give me a chance to show you how wrong that you are. Round 5, we agree, Jan 10-9.
Yes.
All right, in agreement there. Round 4, we agree, Jan 10-9.
Yes.
We're in agreement there. Round 3, Izzy 10-9.
10-9.
Round 2, Izzy 10-9. Do we agree or not?
So I think it gets really muddy with rounds 2 and 1.
What's your score on it right now?
3-2, Jan.
No, what's your score in round 2?
10. Who's got 10?
Round 2, I had Izzy.
So we're only disagreeing about one round
Jan
here
in round
today.
1.
He has Jan in round 1. Why?
It's just he looks like he was doing more on the output. He was landing.
Did he look like that, or did you look at the numbers after the round?
You say I didn't. I can't remember, but I was a few
While
cocktails
we
deep.
were watching these fights right next to each other on my couch last night, and he goes, "Man, that was a tight round. I don't know, maybe Izzy. What were the numbers? Oh, I'm gonna go Jan." So he had to look. Watching the round, he didn't know. He had to look at the numbers to influence him.
But can we go back? You got to beat the champ to beat the champ.
Yeah, tell this to Henry Cejudo.
Listen, and this fight was really close in those first few rounds, but we saw in those last 2 rounds it got decisive.
And Jan won those 2 rounds 10-9.
There's
no debate for me.
robbery here though, like you're stating.
He got stolen round 1. Round 1 got stolen from him, and he should have won 3-2. My argument is not changing. Izzy won 1, 2, and 3. Changed my mind.
So you guys let us know what you think in the comments.
So now I think it's a good point here. Is I think in previous podcasts discussing fights that I think it was you, Mike, who said when you go into these later rounds that maybe they should weigh a little more.
They should.
So if
they
Jan
don't.
won 4
Not when
and
it's
5,
Izzy, not when it's Izzy or Ferguson fighting for Mike.
I never see. I hated the Izzy. I hated the Ferguson Oliveira fight. I never once argued that Ferguson won that fight. That never came. Look at all the tapes. I never said Ferguson won any round of that fight. So don't go back to that. This is a whole different story because they're not the same argument. I never said Ferguson won that fight. I just said it was boring as shit. It was a terrible fight to watch. So that was my argument on that one. But this fight was actually a pretty damn good fight. It was a competitive fight, but Izzy won 3 out of 5 rounds, and he should be the double champ right now. And Jan should be, shipped off to Warsaw and never seen again, where he should be.
Well, we've heard our sides of the story. You got to let us know what you think.
Well, and I think most importantly, someone who disagrees with you, Mike, is Izzy himself in the post presser.
Izzy is a humble king. Like he knows he's gonna be good. He's gonna go back and rule 185, where he's still undefeated for sure. There, the greatest middleweight of all time. Beat everyone's ass again, and then he'll end up. I'm bored beating these guys. Let me go win that 205 rightfully this time because I got robbed the first time. He knows he's gonna get a shot again, and he knows this was like Jan's last shot of anything. Because now, guess what? We lost 2 divisions last night. The 205 division died along with that 145 in the women because now you have a fight night fighter as your champion. So there you go.
We'll blame Izzy.
No, I blame the most terrible part of MMA, and I guarantee everyone agrees in this: the judges suck when judging fights.
So we got to move on to the co-main, our next robbery. Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson won this fight. Changed my mind.
Again, our last 2 fights tonight killed 2 divisions back to back. Amanda Nunes proved that she is on Izzy's level and totally dominated a bigger division, a bigger opponent, just like Izzy did.
God, this was such a letdown.
This is exactly what everyone expected.
The first overhand right Nunes throws.
But did you honestly think that Megan Anderson
Megan's
had
back
a shot?
on her feet?
Or Megan?
No.
Like, okay.
I laid my plus 2,600 sub.
We saw how thin her skin is. All right, we already saw how thin her skin is when a little offhand comment fucking got all up, all sand in her skirt, right?
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim says one thing, she freaks out.
When someone like the fucking lioness comes up and just walks you down and punches you straight in the fucking face? Like there was no like strategy. It wasn't like I'm gonna pepper. I'm just gonna walk straight up to this tall woman, 5 inches taller than me. I'm just gonna punch her straight in the face.
You need a little animosity in a fight like this. There's no animosity. There's no like real drive, rage. They're coddling the baby afterwards. Right now. It's a big happy portrait.
The memes of the lion eating the giraffe.
Yeah,
that's exactly what last night was.
Yeah, that went about as expected.
Yeah, quick money from Amanda Nunes, and I love the DC quote. He goes, "If I'm Amanda Nunes, I'm never going to retire. I'm just going to keep David Dana White's money over and over and over and over again."
Why not?
Because I mean, honestly, like I said, jokingly about the 205. It's still just terrible. Like what happened in that division yesterday. But this division's done.
Yeah. Like
the UFC.com doesn't have anybody in the division. There's no rankings for it. It was specifically made for Cyborg because she was so big she could barely cut the 145. All jacked up and shit. And once Cyborg left, Nunes took that title. What are we doing?
Megan, I'm the first real featherweight she's fought. Bantamweights have given her a tougher match.
Yeah, I'm the first. First real
flyweights have given her a tougher match.
She fucking fought Chris Cyborg, who is probably could fight at 170 if she really wanted to.
Probably.
She's huge. She's a giant.
All right, let's go to the third title fight. Or the first of the night.
So, just real quick, did we all put money on the Amanda Nunes fight?
I did not put anything.
So
I had her in a parlay piece. That was it.
I laid the plus $2,600 sub prop for Megan Anderson, $1. I was like, maybe she'll try and go off her back.
I told him he could have just gave me $1 and we would have been better off as a group. But
all right, this fight.
This was another controversial. Not controversial,
this
but
is a fight we disagreed on.
Unexpected finish.
I had a feeling.
What did you disagree on?
We didn't. I think on the podcast, I technically thought Sterling could win this fight. Okay. And then, I started watching a lot more Jan fights during the week and Sterling fights. And I'm like, I think Jan's going to win this fight. And he went there and did what I thought Jan was going to do before he fucking knocked Sterling into the next dimension with that blatant knee to the face.
Fucking, that's aggravated assault, brother.
So yeah. So I mean, we got to break down both sides of this, right? So,
well, let's just talk about the fight before the knee, which I think was a very even battle. They're going back and forth.
It was a great fight.
It was a fun fight to watch. I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think Aljo, I should say, had the better of it early in the fight. Came out, especially first round, looked really good.
Yes.
I think he still won the second round. And then as the fight progressed, it seemed like Jan was kind of taking momentum going in his direction.
Yeah, I think in the fourth, I was up 2-1. Jan was winning. And
Right.
Aljo was fading. His gas tank was fading. His bilingual was fading. Jan was pressing forward.
I think Jan was taking round 4, and it was going to be 2-2 going into 5, and whoever took that round was going to be the champion.
I think Jan was on his way to finishing Aljo before he finished him with the knee.
I don't know if he's going to finish him.
Like,
Jan's not a big-time finisher to begin with. Aljo's big. I think it would have been...
I think Aljo had a little bit of an adrenaline dump.
And I also think that wasn't going to finish him because he was so afraid to go to the ground. So I think if he knocked him down, he was going to stand there and Aljo get up.
Yeah,
so
but at that point, I think Aljo was just like his tank was empty. Like,
but still, Jan still had no. I mean, if Jan really wanted to, he was down when he needed him in the head. He could have went to the ground with him.
So we got that out of the way up until the moment of the knee. So then you get to the knee, and then you got two sides of this, right? You got people that kind of think about Jan in the heat of the moment. He did not plan for this to happen. There's people think he did that shit on purpose.
It's premeditated.
You
can't argue it's not premeditated, whether it was vicious or not. The fact that 1, the referee said he's down.
Yep.
2, he asked his corner, should I hit him? Should I hit him? And then 3, he delivered the knee with his corner saying, yes, do it. And shout out to Habib for being a snitch, telling everybody what they're saying over there on the other side of the ring. There's no question that wasn't premeditated.
Yeah.
Now, did he know that the leg was down? But he should have known because the ref told him.
And let's talk about the rule sets. Then you have Piotr Jan in the press conference. They're breaking this down, and Piotr Jan's talking about it. And he's essentially saying, I was watching the hands. I was watching his hands. I wasn't paying attention to his knee. I think when he raised his hands, I thought, like, I don't know, in the heat of the moment, that was my cue to knee. But his knee was down. In the rule set, and it's like, and then you have the take on it where Mighty Mouse is coming out saying, Aljo stalling in that position. A lot of fighters taking this
there's
thing,
different ways to stall.
To regain your composure, get some fatigue. Doesn't mean Jan should have done what he done. It's wrong. This is Jan's fault.
Well, you could chart up the gamesmanship on Aljo's part for sure.
Yeah.
Which is it's part of any sport.
Yeah.
It's like trying to work the rules as much as you can, doing little dirty things here and there. They kind of, like, trust me, every sport has little unwritten rules or rules that are being broken that aren't being penalized.
There's so much stuff to talk about with this fight because and then you have people saying that he deserves an Oscar. And I was one of those people that kind of felt that way to begin with, but then like watching that knee, dude,
look at the interview he did with Rogan. His pupils are not dilating.
Yeah,
it's a telltale sign. His pupils look like quarters. Like they look like with all those bright lights. Like I got the lights on me now. Look at my eyes. I'm not concussed right now. I'm a little drunk. I'm not concussed.
Jones has got more pennies than anybody I know because he's always throwing in 2 cents.
Yeah.
So he goes and he says, what does he say? He says something along the lines of taken away from the thing that happened with Anthony Smith. The same thing should have happened.
Yeah.
Like he said that I guess Aljo shouldn't have the belt, right? And it goes the same thing for Jones because you need Anthony Smith, but the only difference is Anthony Smith continued to fight.
Well, it wasn't as bad either. Like,
but essentially it could have been the same outcome.
Like what was it, like 2 weeks ago? We saw what Corey Sandhagen's knee did to Frankie, and that was just as hard of a shot that he hit clean flush.
And he took it in the temple.
Man, it was bad. And I can kind of understand why people say, "Oh, he shouldn't win the belt. He shouldn't win the belt." And maybe in this case that could be right, but you got to deter people from doing that. Yeah. Like I love WWE, right? I'm a big wrestling fan. One of the oldest gimmicks is you have the heel in there. He can't lose his title because of a disqualification, right? So it'll be a big, hard-fought match. The baby face is about to win, and the heel would potentially get disqualified, so he retains his title, loses the fight, but retains his title. So what could stop a guy from? If this wasn't happening in this fight, I'm not insinuating that it was. That's getting his ass beat for 3-4 rounds. And you know what? I want to retain my title, so I'm going to fucking disqualify myself. And I think that's why you have to take that title away from it and give it to Aljo, because to get that deterrent away from it. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah. Do I think that's what happened here?
Yeah.
No, I think he broke the rules. I guess blatantly. Was it vicious? I don't know. I can never judge intent of somebody.
I don't feel like it was malintent, dude. I think it was a heat of the moment thing.
Well, here's the thing. It was a heat of the moment thing. there might have been some malintent. Like, I want to hurt this guy because they've been talking a lot of fucking shit. Now, did he know that this was going to be a disqualification? Maybe not. But he was throwing that knee to fucking hurt.
Oh, dude.
Aljamain.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a fight for sure. But there's little things you do when you don't like somebody.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the Tim Elliott fight a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the intent was. I'm going to try to change this guy's life right
Yeah.
now. And he chose a bad time to do it.
And where do we go from here? Do you automatically book the rematch? I think I kind of know how you feel about that. I think you do. You don't think you do.
Well, here's two
do.
reasons why I don't think you do. The one major reason is especially if Corey Sandhagen beats TJ Dillashaw, he deserves that title shot as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
So that's the first number
He
reason
should
why
have had
I
it
don't
maybe
think
a
so.
fight ago.
One, I think, is also really deter people from doing this shit and make it stick in people's head to not to do it again. Make Jan have to win a fight or two to get back to the title
Yeah,
picture.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna have any issues doing
But
that.
the number one, and then we'll find, and then the cream will rise to the top,
Yeah.
right? It'll happen.
I think Jan proved like people paper champ, dude, but he's good, man.
But I am more. I want to see Corey Sandhagen get his due and get his title shot. So I think that if he beats TJ Dillashaw or TJ comes back and beats him, they deserve to go right in that title picture. For that's more reason why I don't think Jan deserves.
I think at the end of the
rematch.
day, I think you should let Sterling decide.
I mean, think of it in obviously a much smaller scope. Like, it's not like John went and got a rematch with Hamill after it happened. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very similar situation to John. This is much worse than the John Jones elbow.
Yeah.
Like, John Jones really should be undefeated, but this was pretty fun. Basically, I think it more as a deterrent from people to do this shit and keep it in people's head. Like, no, you got to pay attention to what you're doing when you're in there.
End of the day, an unfortunate end to that fight.
Right.
We'll keep it moving here.
You never want
Islam
title fights.
Makachev, Drew Dober.
The
Habib
second coming,
Jr.?
right? It's the second coming.
I mean,
Habib.
this went how we expected, total domination. At some points, I was like, not that I wasn't interested in the fight, but it's like,
the wish.com
Yeah.
Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. But Islam Makhachev, everyone talks like him. He's the future of 155, and I think he kind of proved that yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, Dober's not probably a guy who's ever going to sniff the title picture, but he's not a bum.
yeah.
But he looked like a bum yesterday. That just kind of show you, and that's more, I think, the level of Islam Makhachev. Just totally, and even like the submission that he locked in there, it wasn't that tight. It wasn't completely locked in. I'm not saying that it wasn't uncomfortable, but it was more like I gotta get out of here.
Dober's just over it.
I'm done.
I'm over
I
it.
have nothing. I can't answer. It's not gonna defend this guy. I mean, look at the fucking numbers on there. It's just not even close.
We'll keep it moving. Thiago Santos, Alexander Rakic.
Another one, and this one benefited me. Another one where I think the judges got it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Santos was definitely more active.
So this is not a bias.
The only thing I can
people
remember
might-
from this, the only thing that stuck out for me from this fight was fucking Alexander Rakic getting his brown belt at the end of it.
For no
from a fight
reason.
that had no jiu-jitsu. Maybe there's some stuff happening in the gym outside of this, and they felt like this is a good time, a good stage to give him his brown belt, to promote him here.
But
Maybe
there was no
that's it.
grappling.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, maybe
Like,
he's,
you got to at least take
you
a
know,
guy
it's
down
like,
or
but it's like,
something, right?
yeah, but maybe it has nothing to do with this fight, right? Maybe they decided they were going to promote him
If
before
you
this
win
fight.
this fight.
And they're like, you're on the stage, let's show it off.
Right.
You know, let's validate you in front of
Right.
people.
That's, I mean, it's true.
That's probably what it was.
Right.
You know, because there was no grappling in this fight.
No.
Like, oh, here's a brown belt. Dude, what?
Yeah. But again,
You know?
just to prove my point, that it's not a bias for me and Izzy. The MMA judges are fucking terrible because I think Thiago Santos won this fight. It was a kind of do nothing fight. Like, there was no amazing moments in it, but at any from distance he beat him. He had more significant strikes, more total strikes, and it wasn't like, again, there wasn't much grappling to even speak about.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Ratchet's got it. And one of my bets was Thiago wins by decision. I really like that one. You saw it on my Whiskey and Wagers because I think that a plus 800 for Thiago Santos is anytime you want to take that shit, no matter what type. Because he is a black belt, right? He's a black belt now. He's a black belt. He can knock somebody out.
He's got sledgehammers
and
for fists.
he's fought like John Jones to a decision. So if you see a prop bet for Thiago Santos plus 800, it's worth laying some money on there because he can beat you any way possible. But again, just totally think the judges got this one wrong.
Well, what's next for Rakic?
Rachel's right
He's
outside
going
the
right
title
to the
picture.
top.
now.
He's going right to the top.
Maybe he faced the winner of
Jan and Glover.
and Glover, probably.
Yeah.
All right, now we go to undercard.
Keep this going here. Dominic
This
Cruz,
is another
Casey
fun
Kent,
fight.
another good
This
fight.
is another
Back and
fun
forth.
fight. Split decision.
Yeah.
Again.
I mean, I think Dom's movement just frustrated
No,
Kenny a lot.
this split decision really could have gone anyway. So that's why it's a split decision. But I sided with Dom on this one.
I sided
too,
with Dom as
for
well.
sure. I
Yeah.
think Dom won this fight. Probably should have been unanimous 30-27, I think.
He didn't have as much movement as the typical Dom Cruz, and that's probably age, injuries, all kind of
Well,
stuff.
definitely.
But
I
he
mean,
did enough to frustrate Kenny for
Right.
sure.
And then Kenny, his biggest problem is not talent. He fights even fights. He's kind of like the male Angela Hill to me. Where
I just haven't seen enough of him. We saw him beat Nathaniel Hill. We
He's
saw
good.
him beat Can't remember who he bought.
No, he's good, but he
yeah.
fights close fights, and he wins close decisions. And anytime you're in there, you're probably gonna struggle to crack the top 5, top 10, all that stuff because you're gonna lose a lot of fights doing that. And it kind of showed here. But
Alatang,
yeah, the Wood fight was close.
Smolka.
Well, Alatang, he beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
Remember that? Alatang was just tough. Yeah. Well, that Alatang fight was a decision, but Alatang, that's more on his toughness because Casey Kenny was beating,
his body was beat
the
to shit,
fuck out of him, but Alatang just kept coming back. I wouldn't mind seeing a Mirab Cody Casey Kenny fight.
Marab?
Yeah.
But Marab's like on a win streak. Why should he fight Kenny? He needs to fight somebody up in the higher ranks, I think.
At the higher ranks.
Why not Kenny and Kyler?
But here's the thing.
Let's get into this next one, yeah.
But that division, even like outside the top 15, is still pretty fucking
it's
good.
savage.
For sure. Dom had his call out, right? He's going after a Monster Energy drink, Hans Molenkamp. I'm in it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cool. Let's move on.
Song Yadong, Kyler Phillips.
Fucking gorgeous man, Kyler Phillips. Look at that guy.
Yeah,
Fighting
man.
Jesus.
Jesus and Johnny Depp.
Yeah, Matrix, my
Jared Leto in there somewhere too.
Man. Yeah, it's like Jesus and Jared Leto mixed.
Yeah. I mean, Kyler Phillips came out, and this was a hard fight for me to pick, and I ended up flipping to Kyler Phillips off the podcast.
I mean, this
very
whole
well-rounded.
card, this was a great card from start to finish. Talent, the stacking, even like pre-fight, like man, these fights are close, which is why me and Tony were split on so many things. And a lot of times, I was like, hey, I'll go the other guy. Song Yadong, kind of big for the division for sure. More of a striker though. I just think Kyler Phillips is just better all around.
Yeah.
Like a better all around fighter.
I mean,
for sure.
Song Yadong ate Kyler Phillips' shots, kept coming forward, but Kyler's looked good, man.
Right.
I'm excited to see this guy fight some more.
Yeah, I think he'll be in the top 15 now.
Yeah. I mean, he beats a 14 guy, right?
Right.
And he's moving up there quick.
He called somebody out last night. Who did he call out?
I don't know.
What's his class?
Bantam.
Bantam.
I don't know who he.
Yeah, I don't know who.
He called somebody out that wasn't ranked.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel like you should be calling out people who are ranked.
But was it Sugar?
I don't think so.
Or Sugar made a comment about him or something like that?
I don't know. Sugar's got to get through Almeida first.
Let me look it up here.
But yeah, Kyler Phillips, I think he's going to be a player at that division for sure.
Yeah, he's good. He's
and Yadong too. Yadong's still young. He's like 23, 24 years old. One of the last remnants of Team Alpha Male. This is a tough fight. I mean, if the judges would have given the decision, I could see it.
Yeah.
But I think Kyler was better all around.
1 second. Calls out.
He specifically called somebody out yesterday.
Kyler Phillips wants ranking. It just says Kyler Phillips wants ranked opponent after upset. I don't see anything him picking anybody specifically. But all right,
maybe somebody called him out.
Yeah.
Let's next fight.
The last fight
All
ever
right.
for Joey B.
Poor Joey B. I don't know, man. I don't know where to start.
You like Joey B so much. Like,
Yeah, he's such a likable dude.
he's
Up until he made excuses for Figgy. Then I was kind of like, come on, dude.
I mean, that was just the act of a desperate man. He, again, is a pioneer for the smaller fighters, right? Been around forever. Has fought the cream of the crop at that weight class. He's like the lifelong number 2, though. Like, he's the runner-up. He's the Buffalo Bills.
He's probably
of the
one of the
UFC.
best that's never won a title.
Right.
He's in that argument.
Like, he's put himself together pretty much a Hall of Fame career. Got himself his little smoking wife.
I just think, and I think the game.
He's done good for himself.
It's
like,
not that
basically.
it's not that he's not skillful. He's very skillful, but I think maybe the game has eclipsed what he's capable of. And I don't know if that's maybe age or if that's people are just.
Well, he's good, just not good enough. Like to win the title.
Yeah,
Like I mean, he could probably still compete. I mean, the Bullet, Oscar. Like it wasn't like Askarov totally was head and shoulders above him, but it was clearly a win for him.
He was whooping his ass, man. It wasn't like a Figgy beatdown, but Askarov was beating him everywhere that fight
And
went.
that's the guy who's going to probably fight.
And you could
fight
see
for
the
title
panic
soon.
in Joey B. Like that first round when Askarov got him on the ground, got his back. Joey B's like, "This is where I'm supposed to be better."
I would want him to retire for sure. I think it's a good idea, but you never want to tell people when to do that.
Yeah.
If he does stick around, I'd like to see Brendan Royval fight him and give Royval that scalp.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
get him that win.
I mean, I think we knew Benavidez. I think we had a feeling he was done.
We agreed on this.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones we disagreed on most of the card. We actually agreed
And I think
on
the
this
UFC was doing everything in our power to give him some momentum here. You think I thought like I wasn't going to pick Benavidez, but I thought maybe he'd be equal size or
think-
bigger. But Askarov, his frame was still bigger than Benavidez.
I think this was a show me fight for each of them.
Yeah.
This is Joey Benavidez. Show me if you got anything left.
Yeah.
Askarov, show me if you're elite level. And they both showed what they both answered that question yesterday. Askarov, I think he might be next in line for that title.
He's up there.
I mean, he
There's
just
not
beat
much
Joey
going
B.
on here, so
I mean, you got the rematch coming up with Robredo and Figgy.
Yeah.
He faces the winner,
yeah,
right?
why not?
And then Joey Benavidez. You stick around. Let's give you the Brandon Royval.
Yeah. Okay, Rogerio
This is a
Bontaran,
kind of
Kai
a-
Kara France. This is a good fight.
Interesting ending too.
You got the bigger Bontaran putting it on Kai Kara
Who
France.
won the round? I think right.
He won 4 minutes and
Right. I would
50 seconds
for
of it.
sure, for sure.
and then Kai Kara France
Caught him late.
one initial
Don't
away
blink.
from
Hey,
being
don't blink's
canceled.
a great fucking name because it took one blink of the eye and he put Bontaran to sleep. Kind of a weird finish to it. Herb Dean finds himself in the middle again of a strange ending
Poor
sequence
Herb,
in a
man.
fight.
It gets no love.
He kind of knocks Bontaran down.
Dude, he turtled him.
Dean pushes Kara France to the side.
Yeah.
Kara France goes to the other side of the cage. And all of a sudden,
Well, I
for
think it was
some
more like
reason,
Kai Kara France
they
called
did
it
a
off
walk
himself.
off.
Yeah.
But Dean also kind of pushed him too, kind of pushed him away. Once that ref touches you, like that's supposed to be it, right?
Yeah.
But then Bontaran was kind of getting up, and then Kara France runs up again, but then Dean kind of stopped him again as it was going
Yeah,
down.
I mean, he forehead planted. It was over.
Oh, I believe it
Yeah.
too, but I think Dean fucked up on making it clear that fight was over.
I think Rogerio, like, even coming out of that round, Kai was going to
But
get him in the second.
Did the clock run out?
No, they
Was there still time on the clock in the round?
Yeah, I think there was like
That's why I couldn't kind of
I
make
think it was
out
like
when it
10.
happened.
What does it say? Like, does it say the timing? But I feel like there was like at about the 4:50 minute mark, he had knocked him out.
Yeah, because I know
Well,
I
there
heard
it is,
4:55.
4:55,
So
they
I knew it was
stopped
really.
it.
I had no idea. It
Yeah.
happened so quick. I couldn't tell if the round ran out or what. 'Cause I knew it. I heard the knockers for sure.
Yeah.
For 10 seconds, and I couldn't tell if the clock had run out. But that fight's definitely over
Yeah,
there.
and it took 5 seconds for them to sort
Right,
it out.
Right. If Bontaran would have been at the 5-minute mark, I could kind of see his argument.
Yeah.
But that definitely was.
No,
over
he
there.
was Kai was gonna fuck him up.
Right.
And he blew his load anyway. That
Right.
second round,
No,
he wasn't.
for sure.
You know, he was,
yeah, it was fun while it lasted though.
yeah.
One of my favorite fights of the night right here.
Early prelims.
I had some money on Timmy Elliott.
Tim
This is one of my
Elliott,
wagers for sure.
the unspoken vigilante,
And this kind of goes to where
unsung hero.
I hate. This is gonna be a common thread for a long time.
I definitely know the fight to
I
make
hate
after
MMA
this.
judges. I hate MMA judges. If they're gonna give Jan Blachowicz a 10-8 round, 2 different judges gave Jan a different 10-8. One gave him 4, one gave him 5. Tim Elliott was all over Espinosa nonstop. He cut his head and started wiping his blood on his face. I guess he had some personal beef. I didn't know this. Jordan Espinosa had some domestic violence issues, and
he's
Elliott took
he's
that
a wife
personal.
beater. Yeah,
and
caught him a
Elliott
wife beater.
Caught him a wife beater in the middle of the cage, and he was just trying to embarrass him. And he just totally
So
it was
there's
one
yeah.
side as it can get.
Yeah, he.
And he got no 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
0 10-8 rounds.
Tim Elliott,
Almost
was
got a
vet.
couple subs.
Yeah.
It was a nice prop to have up there. But yeah, Elliott was an
Very
underdog.
experienced vet.
He's another guy that's kind of been in the Benavidez cloth. Like he's been around, fought the best of the best, has beat some good guys, has lost some fights. And I don't even have an idea. But you said you were eager who he fights next. What's the
There's
next
only
fight?
one person to call
Who?
out. I mean, he's correcting these wife-beaten wrongs, right? He's got to call out Greg Hardy.
Who, Tim Elliott?
Let's make it happen, man.
Man,
I
you hate Tim Elliott? Come on, man. What was this, 125 or 135?
I could see an arm drag to take the back, choke him out.
No.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, you're going to beat all the wife beaters. Hey, you might as well call out Greg Hardy. Fuck
There's
it.
got to be some small
I mean,
ones.
Dominic Cruz balls are swinging. He's calling out Molenkamp. He's got 100 pounds on
Man, you
him.
should call out Tito or something first. If you beat Tito Ortiz,
Fuck
then
it.
you can go ahead and beat. We got to work your way up, dude. It's pyramid setting. You can't just go straight to the heaviest set. Come on, you're a trainer.
I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it.
Take another
Our
sip.
porn stars dehumanize us.
Yes.
Let's keep
Terrible
it rolling.
humans. Keep it going. This is a fun fight too. This next one, Kennedy. I'm not gonna try to say his last name. We'll call him the African Savage. And the Blackjack, Carlos Oberg. Not a good night for City Kickboxing. Not a good run here for City Kickboxing. Because I think they're about to lose that featherweight title soon too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when it comes around. But Carlos Oberg, beautiful man.
Good looking dude.
You just kind of hope he's got a small dick because he's a great looking dude and he can knock you the fuck out.
That or
He's
hopefully
got
no sense of
money.
humor.
Right.
He's the most boring man on the planet.
Like the sense of humor or whatever, but you just hope he has something wrong with him because this guy's fucking beautiful and if he wanted to, he'd beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
He was a big favorite here. He's a really good kickboxer, but his fight IQ is fucking terrible. His fight IQ is absolutely terrible. His hands down. Kennedy.
His boxing defense is not there. His striking defense.
And all Kennedy was doing was boxing. Yeah. He wasn't throwing kicks. He was throwing those big. He's got giant reach. Kennedy. He's a big dude for this division for sure. Yeah. He's got really long arms, but he was just throwing hands. He wasn't kicking. He wasn't mixing up. But yet Oldberg kept his hands down. Kind of thought he could eat his shots. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know what his thought was, and then finally Kennedy caught his ass late.
Who knows, man? Like, it could be ego stuff, because City Kickboxing has gotten a lot of good rep, right? Like, their reputation is strong.
Well, he picked this fight. The head coach, Eugene, I can't pronounce his last name.
Eugene Bauman?
Bauman. Eugene Bauman at City Kickboxing went on record saying there's two types of fighters in the UFC, right? Especially on the up-and-coming. One of them, they tell you who you're going to fight, right? This is your fight next, right? And I suppose that's Kennedy, what Kennedy got, right? Whereas Carlos Ellsberg is a guy, they said, here's 5 guys you could choose from. Who do you want to fight? So he handpicked Kennedy thinking this was going to be an easy fight. Thinking he'd be faster. Thinking he'd beat him on the striking game. No, he wouldn't try to grapple him too much. And then Kennedy came out and beat his ass. It was a good competitive first round for sure. And that's why Ellsberg had that striking advantage because he won round 1 for sure, but gassed. Was completely gassed, and Kenny just ate everything that he gave him. Kept stepping forward, and then you finally caught him with that hook.
Yeah, and I think, Oldberg was another one. He, kind of blew his load in that first round, adrenaline dump. He kind of found that rhythm in that second, but I think at that point it was...
That hook just put him out.
Yeah, he's night-night.
His legs turned off. He went to the ground. So back to the drawing. This is only his... I don't know if it's his 4th or his... 6th MMA fight. It depends on which site you go to.
What, third in the UFC?
Well,
one contender series.
This was his contender series. Technically doesn't count as UFC.
Yeah.
So this is his UFC debut. Lost it. And if you go to some sites, they say 3-0. Other fights, they say 5-0. So the regional MMA scene can be sketchy at times. So who knows how much that has? But he definitely is early in his career. But he's not that young. It's kind of he has a lot of kickboxing experience. So again. Give him some time to pick up, sharpen his game. I don't think he's like a lost cause or anything like that. I think he needs to go back to the drawing board and kind of strategize a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, he's got time, right?
Right. Oh, well, not that much. He's not that. He's over 30.
But I mean, it's light heavyweight division. It's okay.
That's true. It's another fun one.
This is a good fight. The first, round and a half, and then it kind of...
I love me some Sean Brady.
Sean Brady just took control after that.
First off, badass fucking tattoos, dude. Yeah. His whole fucking shit from head to toe.
So clean, it looks like a rash guard.
Then you don't have his other Japanese stuff. His whole left arm to left leg is like a Japanese. It looked like I said, a rash guard for sure. Yeah. Great tattoos. But Brady's kind of good at everything. He's the problem at welterweight for sure. He's a big dude, thick for sure, wide shoulders. Great wrestler.
Like the sky is the ceiling for this guy. The sky's the limit. This guy
on the feet. Matthews had a little bit for him early.
He's having some success. He rocked Brady.
Right.
He dropped Brady
for him early, but that kind of hurt him. Yeah. Because when it went to the ground, Brady was able to compose himself, and he won the rest of that round.
That's his world too. Right?
And then round 2, Brady got a little bit of hands to it, but then he took him down again. And that was it. Yeah. For sure, that was over.
But yeah, I think Sean Brady's got a bright future.
Right.
Let's give him a top 15, top 10.
Yeah. I mean, Kamaru Usman, you better be on the watch out for this guy.
Yeah, he's grooming.
He's a big dude too, like you are. He can wrestle like you can. He's got some power in his hands. Let's look at that welterweight. Can we do Hamzat versus?
If he's not retired.
All right.
I mean, we don't know what's going on
what's
here.
What's the name from Chechnya says he's not retired?
Yeah, what, the president or something?
Yeah. No, Ramdan, whatever his name is. But if let's take Hamzat off the table.
President, ministers, what do they got?
What's Jeff Neal? Jeff Neal just came off that loss, right? I like to see. I think Sean Brady probably wins that fight. He takes him down. Jeff Neal just shows he's pretty much a one-dimensional fighter. He's got good hands for sure, but I think you get Brady that fight, he gets himself near that top 10, and then from there he starts fighting the big boys.
What about Ling Zhiliang? Well, who's he going up against?
I don't know. I think Ling Zhiliang's just there just to be a punching bag.
He won his last fight, right? Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
He did.
He knocked out Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Ponzinibbio, that's
what
right.
I'm saying. Jeff Neal went up, but Jing Liang came down?
Because they don't want Jing Liang up there.
Come on.
What Dos Santos is that?
He knocked out Dos Santos.
Yeah, I remember the Ponzinibbio because that Ponzinibbio fight was just recently. Yeah,
he came off 2-year layoff.
But yeah, they made the Li Jinglong would be a good fight for him too. I think.
Yeah,
is Robbie Lawler still fighting?
I don't know.
Yeah. Then as far as Jake Matthews, I think he's kind of is what he is. He's gonna be a middling fighter. I don't think he's done by any stretch of the imagination, but he wins one, lose one.
I just feel like he's like got more skill than he shows off for some reason. I don't know why I feel like that. I think maybe it's the big stage does something to him. Maybe.
Yeah, kind of looks like a baby Thor, right?
Yeah.
17-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had one of the reasons I was really but he struggled with Diego. He struggled beating Diego Sanchez his last fight.
Yeah,
that
it was a decision.
And it was a close decision too.
Yeah, decisions.
He and another Rocco Anthony Martin subbed his ass. That's not a good loss.
Rocco Martin, yeah.
To get sub you. He has never won in the United States. And that's a problem if you want to be in the UFC because a lot of fights are here.
That's literally one side of the world to the other, too, right?
Yeah. So he's got to fix it. Maybe move here. That might help him out a little bit. Get a new camp, get new training.
Maybe he needs to hop over to New Zealand, swim across there. It's train with City Kickboxing.
Maybe
I don't know.
That could be a thing too. But who knows? Might be a back to drawing board moment for Jake Matthews for sure.
Man.
I think he's maxed out what he could do at that camp.
Yeah. So we got Lavinia Souza,
this last year,
Amanda Lemos.
One-sided as can be these fights. Not much to
Lemos
talk
beat
about.
the brakes off of her.
Yeah. Lemos looked fucking vicious in that fight. The fact that Souza was, I don't know how Souza was ranked.
God, I mean, like the physicality difference
Man.
is just insane.
I thought there was more than 30 strikes, honestly.
Yeah.
It seemed like there was a lot more. They were fucking hard strikes, to tell you that
I mean,
much.
this is like a horror movie versus a rom-com.
30-1.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was one-sided as can be in this fight. It was an interesting card too. When when it opened up, Souza opened up as the favorite, and then it completely flipped to the other side where all the money went to with Lemos, and then I ended up taking Souza once you flipped the underdog just because of the underdog money, but there was no fucking. No,
I mean it was a good performance for Lemos. I'm excited to see her fight in the future.
Even when we were doing, I remember our last show when we were doing our picks. I was like, "Who do you want, Lemos?" I had no fucking clue about these women. No. I was like, "Who do you want, Lemos?" Okay,
I'm like, "Who's the favorite?" I'm taking the favorite.
Right, because she was ranked.
Right, that's why I gave Tony the first pick. I took the other one.
All right, we got Uros Medic.
This
and
was
Alan
one of my
Cruz.
bold picks that did not turn out right.
Medic living up to the hype.
Right,
puts the beat down on Cruz. Not
and kind of
a significant, not even a strike landed.
Kind of. Stepping up for the Alaskan regional circuit. The Alaskan MMA regional circuit is one of the most joked about one. Terrible fighting. Meg had some tough fights there too, and I kind of went off the fact that the biggest fighter that's really come there was Cannonier. Cannonier came from the Alaska, but everybody else that kind of takes that jump from Alaska down to the U.S. gets fucking crushed. So I've seen Cruz. I know he's kind of a
There's only
fighter.
one dominant non-continental state. It's Hawaii.
Right, there you go.
Alaska.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I thought Cruz would be able to muddy the waters, but Medic beat the living
beat down.
shit.
Good showing for Medic.
Beat the living shit out of him.
Was it like a flying knee to ground and pound? I think it ended up.
This fight lasted about, I would say, maybe a minute longer than it had to.
Yeah.
Like it was a minute 40. But that fight should have been stopped a lot quicker because he was just beating this shit out. I mean, Cruz was intelligent defending himself. He was moving. He was switching. He was going.
I mean, he spent a lot of time hands and knees, turtling up.
Yeah.
He'd stand up for a second and get dropped.
Like, it was one-sided as could be.
Yeah.
It was all offense. So, yeah, Medic maybe put the name for himself. Give him a little better competition going forward.
Yeah.
What is this, at 145?
I think so, yeah.
Cruz was coming up, too. I don't think he gets ranked opponent yet.
No. He needs a few more fights. We'll move it on. Mario Bautista, Trevin Jones opened it up. Trevin Jones is now 2-0 in the UFC. I know one's a no contest because of his weed.
I'm very
Test positive
disappointed.
weed.
Mario Bautista came in with a mullet. And if you know me, if a guy has a mullet, I am all on board.
Yeah.
Like, that's a bold.
I mean, he was winning the first round.
Yeah.
What does that say across his chest?
Death before dishonor.
Yeah, he chose death yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know if he chose it.
Well, everything we do in life is a choice. It's like Dangerous Minds. You chose to get on that bus. You may not like that choice, but you made that choice.
True.
Is my Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Batista came out good early. We were actually streaming at the same time when this was going on, so we're kind of watching out of a corner of our eye. I think Batista probably maybe round one for sure, but then Jones took it out of any question, just fucking unloaded it on his ass and put him on.
Yeah, and I mean he's now been in 2 underdog spots and won both times.
We know that Trevin Jones can knock you out at any
Yes.
time. He's in any fight. He's got the live hands. It's back-to-back knockouts. Like we said, that one got erased, but we know what happened. It's like Reggie Bush was the Heisman Trophy winner. We know it.
They should all get those overturned since now the UFC does not count weed.
I just don't get what does overturning it do? Like, does he have to give his money back? Does it it doesn't. I don't like in the bookmaker's eyes, they're gonna count it as a win.
Yo, Mr. Evilov,
Yeah.
you have a $30,000 debt that you need to pay back.
Right.
That's what it should fucking be.
Right. Maybe but like
No,
what?
they shouldn't do that. But UFC's got plenty of money. Man.
What's
Come
the
on.
point of fucking going and taking it away? They put an asterisk or something. But anyway.
It's frustrating though.
Yeah, terrible.
All right.
Well, let's jump into
Fun
our
card, though.
whiskey,
Yeah, it was a good card.
whiskey and wagers. How'd everybody do?
Not terrible, but not great.
I just played a bunch of little $1 parlays. Didn't hit anything. Obviously.
Well, if
We're
Izzy
watching
did not
Rollies
get
today.
robbed, I would have had a much, much better night for sure because he was the last piece of all my parlays that didn't come through. But so heads up bets, I did pretty well. I had Tim Elliott. I took him as the underdog.
Yeah.
I took. I did not hit my Santos by. I didn't hit Cruz. I didn't hit my Santos by decision.
Yeah.
I did win my Aljamain Sterling bet to win that fight.
But you know what they're all wondering?
What?
We're even on straight picks for the year.
We
I
definitely
closed
are
the gap
even
last
now.
night. 11-4 straight picks should be 12-3. But Jan wants to throw illegal knees.
Hey, DQ's a DQ, buddy. There's
Mike
no
going
debate
8
now.
for 7 over there.
And what's
At
8
least
for 7?
he's on the positive
I
side.
was 8 for 7, and I honestly that prelim card I was just drawing blank.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know these people that well. Let me get it the best I can do. I did a lot better on the people that I knew on my card, my picks for sure.
Yeah, you think like you were saying, we pick every single fight.
Yeah,
You
most MMA podcasts, they're very smart. They're pick and choose the fights that they're going to put on there, the best they're going to do. We kind of try to find an angle on every bet,
Study some tape.
every fight, and let's just see how you are picking every single fight. So
Yeah.
again, sometimes we're picking people we don't really fucking know.
And
that
we all
much
know,
about.
like, since this COVID shit, dogs have been barking, man.
Right.
It's hard. Like, I've been
and that
picking more
small
dogs
cage
lately.
makes a difference.
Yeah.
The small cage makes a difference too. You see it like on Fight Island, the decisions go way up. When they come back to Vegas in that smaller cage, the finishes go way up. It's a different ball game. I think they should just make that fucking cage that
They
size
should
always.
go with it.
It's better fights. It's better fights going on.
Yeah.
Well, I lost my Drew Dober bet and my
I had Islam-
Nunes bet.
I had Islam by finish too.
Yeah.
And I won. I put $20 on Jan, I think, and
Nice
I was
little return.
plus $30 at the end of the day.
Nice.
Jan Blachowicz, by the way, he's saying. Not Peter Jan.
Yeah, not
That
Peter.
was
Jan.
kind of the confusion throughout the whole day.
Yeah, Jan and Jan.
But I think Tony's probably even more proud of him beating me on the Twitch stream back to back.
Oh, yeah. Two times in a row now.
3-2. We're 3-2 every single damn time. It's a lot of fun, guys. Come by. We talk shit. We're fighting
Playing
and
Twitch.
find out we're pretty good.
Very
at
authentic reactions. Probably even more so than actually watching fights.
That's because when the fights come around, we're fucking drunk and tired by the time it comes around. But these Twitch streams, we're fresh tonight. We haven't started drinking yet. We're pretty good at predicting the finishes the fights too.
Yeah,
we're pretty damn good.
Although last night was a little off. I think
Last night
only
was like
one of them
50-50.
came true. Yeah,
Right.
right? Yeah, something like that.
We had Aljo won and Jan won.
Yeah.
Two out of 5.
Yeah.
Because you had Megan
I
won,
had Megan.
Dober won.
Dober won, Megan won.
Yeah, and then that's Santos' victory.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
None of our fights go to decision. They're very
we
entertaining.
do it every single. Yeah,
Somebody
we do.
gets finished.
Oh, that Santos one was really close to going to decision. I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to see what happened. We've never gone to decision yet. We're on there joking around, chatting with you guys and all that stuff. So every pay-per-view card, we do that right before the prelims start or right as they start, like we did last night.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, all right,
Guys, what's even better about this is Mike owns the game, and I only play it when I'm at his house, which is like
own-
once a month, and I win.
I only play it when I play him. I only play when I play
I have
him.
to look up the controls every single time I go and play.
I only play when I play him. I play all my Call of Duty and my Assassin's Creed all the time.
all right, let's move on. I mean, a little bit of John Jones telling you should eat your words. I don't know if we want to address this too much, but basically,
Jones being John Jones.
John Jones showing Izzy
Bones
getting
Jones,
smashed
John
in the
Jones.
face. But we can move on to
We
next
start
week's
calling
fight.
him Johnny Hindsight.
Yeah, let's run through the main card here real quick. This is kind of a snooze fest card, man. This should be a Wednesday night fucking, maybe a Tuesday
I
night
don't know.
fight
Though.
night
Sometimes
card.
these snooze fest cards come in.
I'm
they
just talking about
fucking-
like as like name, like the name value of it, right? There's just like us
Well-
hardcores, like we're gonna really be into this.
No, that's
but
for sure too. I mean, there's a couple fights. Like obviously, I'm really excited for this fight.
this is
right
gonna
now.
be a good fight.
This is gonna be a fun. I'm really curious to see what Leon Edwards is gonna be after that layoff.
Yes, I think that's the X factor.
Right, like maybe
COVID, he had a COVID battle too.
right. But Bilal Muhammad has been 3.
He had a COVID battle. Both these guys have battled COVID.
3 or 4-0 in COVID.
Yeah.
He's been active as hell.
No, he's won one fight since he had COVID.
But I'm talking about in the era.
Oh, yeah.
Since the
Yeah,
COVID
yeah,
era.
yeah, yeah,
Leon
yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
fought in the COVID era.
No.
And that's why I'm curious to see what he's going to come back as. Obviously, when he was before it went down, he was on fire. One of the hottest fighters in the UFC, right on his way for a title shot, and he is a world-class champion level fighter.
Both these guys are decision machines too, so it's like I might be able to see Bilal Muhammad winning this. Pressure and
I am gonna lean Bilal Muhammad and probably end up picking him.
Yeah.
Just based on activity and not being sure what Leon Edwards is going to be coming out of that layoff.
I think I'm gonna go the same. I'm gonna go Bilal Muhammad.
Recent history of fighters coming back has been more on the downside. Like you have Ponzinibbio, Conor McGregor. There's been a few others that were high-ranked fighters had long layoffs, and they come back and they don't look as good when that big layoff. So we're gonna see how well they live. Now, if Leon Edwards comes back and he's true to form, I think he wins this fight over Bilal Muhammad, but I'm leaning Muhammad because of the layoff.
Yeah. I think Muhammad wins. I think he mixes in some takedowns, puts some pressure up against the cage.
Well, the thing is for sure, Edwards is not going to finish him.
No.
Bilal's tough. He's going to come forward. He was eating those leg kicks from Lima that last fight and still stepping forward and just totally owning the octagon still. Whereas Edwards is more of a volume striker where he can finish you if he gets you enough times, but he's not going to totally do that. And I think Bilal can instill some grappling.
We'll let the dog out with this one.
Right.
We'll move on to Misha Serkunov and Ryan Spann. I think I'm going to take Misha here. Serkunov. I think he's going to sub Spann.
I kind of lean that way too. Spann gets himself in bad positions. Like he can put people to sleep himself, and he could win. Yeah. He could beat some high level guys, but he always seems to go.
I think Misha's fought the higher level of competition.
Was it Johnny Walker that he totally just gave the fight away?
Yeah. They both lost to Walker. I think actually. I think Walker's finished both of these guys.
But I mean, Ryan Spann loves to give up good position. He loves to let his fighters get to where they want to go. And again, fight IQ's kind of low. Talent high. He has power. He has good size and length and all that stuff. But he seems to fight down this competition, and he allows his people to come back into fight. So I think Misha comes back and wins.
Johnny Walker finished both these guys, but as far as like level of competition, Misha's seen more. He's seen a higher level of competition.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty closely matched, right?
Yeah, they're pretty evened up.
Even record, but I see Misha's minus 137 and Ryan's plus 110.
I think that's about right. That's about right. Yeah,
I would agree with that as well too. Just again, Ryan could be winning the fight, but you still be worried if you have your ticket.
Yeah,
he's that type of guy.
I don't have a preview for Ben Rothwell.
Yeah, Ben Rothwell, Philip
Lins.
God, yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe Ben Rothwell still in the UFC. He must be making $20 a fight.
Yeah.
If they're gonna cut Alistair Overeem because he's making too much money, Ben Rothwell is old, if not older. He seems like he is. Never really been a title contender. Never been that high, and he still fights regularly.
He's living in the gym. He ain't got no sheets, man.
You see him quarterly. You see him fight quarterly. Whereas I think they're trying to get a win for Lins.
I don't know. I think Rothwell will win. I'm going to take experience and grittiness here.
I'm going to lean Felipe Lins.
It's going to be a boring fight.
If Ben Rothwell ends up winning this ugly decision, I could see it happening. But I think Lins just recently lost a fight.
Yeah.
Didn't Lins win the PFL heavyweight, right? I believe it was Lins.
I think so. He's from one of those over there.
I think it was Overeem that knocked him out.
Rothwell's a favorite at minus 125.
Yeah.
I could see that. I totally see that. But I think Lins gets it done. Did Rothwell just fight Tabura?
Yes, he
Tabura
lost.
beat him, right?
Yeah. He lost.
The rest of this.
This is a fight.
This is fight of the night right here. Dan Ige and Gavin Tucker. This is going to be a fucking fight.
I'm a big Gavin Tucker fan. Ige, tough.
I don't know who to pick.
I'm all in on Gavin Tucker.
I want to be too after his last performance, but I think
one question about Gavin Tucker, and that was his wind, his cardio, and he fought Billy Q, and fought him at his pace. And danced around with him, didn't get tired, dominated that fight for 3 rounds. Yeah. I am all in on Gavin Tucker. I think this guy's going to be shooting himself up towards that title picture.
Yeah, Gavin Tucker has a lot to offer. But
was he the mayor?
Huh?
Is he the mayor or the governor?
The governor.
The governor.
Think,
like he's some kind of politician.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with Ige, but I think it's not going to let you down. It's going to be a fucking scrap. For sure.
Edge to the grappling of. I think we're going to disagree here too.
Hill, Yoder. We talked about this last week, didn't we? Yeah, you're taking Yoder, I know. You're flipping. You can actually flip.
Right. Like the fight never happened.
Yeah. I'm going to go Angela Hill. I think Angela Hill beat Yoder.
I'm gonna go Ashley Yoder
Yeah.
by decision.
Manel Kopp, he's coming back on quick. He's a quick turnaround here against Mateus Nicolau.
I'm leaning Kopp in this
Yeah.
fight. I think UFC is trying to get him some wins going.
I think Kopp gets it done.
Right.
Darren Stewart smokes Eric Anders.
Smokes, I don't know, but I think he wins the fight.
Yeah.
Eric Anders is a tough motherfucker. I think Darren Stewart's going to win it by decision. Kind of similar to I think he beat Kevin Holland by decision, but we won't talk about that.
That was a really good fight.
And even Kevin
And
Holland.
I can see, yeah.
Even Kevin Holland's arrogant
Yeah.
ass, he even said, I think he beat me.
I think Stewart won 2 of those 3 rounds.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, even Holland said that.
Yeah.
You need to run it back. That wasn't a good performance.
Yeah.
So I think,
Yeah, I think he beats Eric
the
Anders.
dentist.
Yep.
I don't even think they have the cop fight listed here.
They showed it on the
Who is it?
placard yesterday, the Manuel Cop.
Yeah, because I don't see it anywhere on the.
Oh, we got to talk about the other
Hey,
fight.
shout out to Bilal Muhammad, though, Chicago native, man, making it happen.
Yeah.
Do we want to
We got
touch
my-
on any of these?
We got my boy Davy Grant on this card. The
Davey
blue
Grant.
collar
You're
workman
not gonna
from
pick him,
England.
though, so I don't want to hear
Nah,
it.
I'm not picking Davy Grant.
I mean, I'm probably going to, probably Nasrat. J. Mark Davy Grant. There we go.
I think.
Oh, man. I want to cheer for Davy Grant so
Yeah.
bad.
Is he Irish or is he English? He's Irish.
He's
isn't he?
English.
Is he English?
He's English.
pretty big underdog.
Yeah. Oh, huge
he's a
underdog.
But he's such a fun.
Watch
dude to
that. He
He
has
fights, man.
He holds those arms out like that old. It's like it's Victor, a guy from Escher from Snatch. The arms are out, just doing those crazy old man hooks.
Yeah.
He actually, little trivia question, everybody. First ever victory on Fight Island was Davy Grant beating Martin Day, beating the shit out of him. Almost had Tony. Did you win the big the?
I
GP
picked
on that
Davy
one?
Grant.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
picked him on that fight card.
Yeah.
Nobody else in the world did. And he fucking lit Martin Day up. We were laughing. I had Martin Day, but just the visual had me laughing the whole fucking time.
Mike's like, who the fuck is this guy?
He's
I'm like,
beating
you know,
the
you
shit-
know.
I think he's beating the shit out of him. So Davy Grant's like
DG Davy
He's
Grant.
the people's champ. It's funny that Smellsburger doesn't have a picture.
Yeah, I think Slumbers would win that fight.
Does Jin Frey finally get a win? She's talented but small.
Yeah, and Gloria DePaula's coming off the Contender Series.
Yeah.
This is her spot.
Jin Frey is a former atomweight champion of Invicta.
She's
but
good looking, though.
She's really talented striker. She struggles in the grappling game really bad.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. When you get a hold of her and take her down, not only the fact that I don't think she's that skilled in it, she's so much smaller than these women because she has to come.
She's
There is
probably
no
what,
there
an
is no
atom weight?
Yeah, there is no atom weight in the UFC.
Yeah.
But maybe she's been training. She's been a while since she had her last fight. When she does come back, I'm probably gonna lean to Paula.
Yeah, I think size and physicality really
Yeah,
does
and
play a lot in women's fights. Even
Everything
more
I've
so.
seen of Frey, I just think that she doesn't have her own division. That's her problem.
Yeah.
She's too small for the UFC.
It's like Michelle Watterson as well, though.
Right.
She seems to hang though.
Right.
But she could probably be an atom weight too. you
Right,
know?
for sure. Or not knowing after having kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those hips get wider.
All right, now we want to move on to just some gossipy
We got to go to the big
Let's
drama
do it.
stuff now.
drama
the
stuff.
robbery of the main event last night.
Oh, we already talked about that. But.
Some losses to the UFC.
Well, we pretty much anticipated this, you know.
Well, the JDS does not shock me as much as Overeem, but when I found out via the Joe Rogan podcast, if you haven't heard about it, check it out. Corey Sandhagen.
Never heard of it.
If you never heard of it, Corey Sandhagen was on there saying that Overeem made $750,000 to show for that fight against Volkov. Wasn't the main event of the fight night. And anytime you're that high in age and you're making that much money and you're not in the title picture, you are going to get cut.
Yeah.
And all you do is pretty screw up your young guys. Like imagine if Overeem would have beat Cyril Gane. Oh, this is
I think they're going to be more keen to let people go now too, because that heavyweight division does have some good up and comers coming
Right.
up. You know,
Especially
some
when you
younger
make it-
guys that are looking good.
Well, I don't think it's just that. I think it's the money because, like
Yeah,
we said,
it's
Ben
both.
Rothwell's got a fight coming this weekend.
Yeah.
And Alice Roman's a better
Well,
fighter
he loses,
than Ben.
he's gone too. you
Like
know?
Alice Roman's way better, and so is JDS than Ben
Yeah.
Rothwell. They both would beat the shit out of Ben Rothwell, but they're going to keep Rothwell in there because he's low money and he can have these young guys fight him. You know,
So, are they going to Bellator?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think Bellator's in that business.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
maybe
what we say.
Overeem.
But
Maybe. I don't think Overeem. I think Overeem still has some fight in the tank. I don't think that JDS does.
yeah,
I thought he did, and that Gane fight kind of showed me, no, this is it. Like he doesn't have it no more.
Yeah.
It's done.
All right, let's move on.
He's kind of a relic. You know, he's too boxing heavy.
Just real quick, one fighter misses weight at 250 UFC 259, and that was Askarov, right?
It was a close one at least. I don't think that's
Yeah.
as crazy as some of these people.
Recent one's 11 pounds
Right.
here, 4 pounds, 6
Yeah,
pounds.
what did Izzy weigh in at? 200.
Yeah,
It's
200.5.
funny, like you hear so many fighters when they say, "What would you do? How would you feel about cutting weight cutting?" They all tend to say, "I would love it."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But like Poirier said, the only reason I do it because I don't want to fight someone that's 200 pounds coming down to fight me at 170. But if we didn't have weight cutting, I'd be more welcome to fight at my natural weight. So basically, they're doing it out of necessity because everybody else is doing it. So
Yeah, it's so ingrained in the sport, right? Since the wrestling days. You know?
and I think the sport would be so much better. Could you imagine if these guys just focused on training?
Yeah.
They're already amazing athletes, amazing fighters, amazing strikers, grapplers, all this stuff. But they didn't have to worry about a weight cut. And they just, all they had to worry about their game plan. Man,
You'd probably see a lot more exciting fights, for sure.
so
People would
much-
have energy.
Right,
They'd be
there's
healthy,
that's not a factor on.
They could take shots
There's not a
better,
factor
you
on
know?
how bad was my cut, or did I rehydrate well? All that shit goes. It's
Yeah.
Holloway said it, Poirier said it, Sandhagen just said it. All these recent guys on Rogan are like, I wouldn't have no problem not doing it, but I'm going to do it because everybody else does it.
Yeah.
Moving on. So Dominic Cruz calls out Monster Energy. We chatted a little bit about this.
The face turn
before
for
the thing.
Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz, the lifelong heel.
You know, at the post
Switch to be a good guy?
Right, that's what I'm saying. A little face turn.
Yeah.
post press, you know, Dana obviously is defending Monster, going like, "Hey, you know, this is a gift. This is your."
Well, you know, this is Dana looking at it from the like a bigger type picture. He's looking at like Monster in itself, and the Monster owners are the sponsors for the UFC. This isn't Cruz's issue.
right.
So Cruz is calling out Hans Molenkamp because Hans Molenkamp is using these fighters to gain clout under Dominic Cruz's impression, like posting on his social media, saying I'm buddy with Cruz and this, and then pretty much saying that, you know, making them do certain things because if you don't, you're going to lose your Monster energy.
Well, the
And then-
fighters need to unionize, man.
Yeah, and then
they need
Dana's-
some kind, like every other athletic group has something,
Yeah.
you know, and like they get told, like the fact that the Reebok deal, we all know about that, how they all lost all their sponsors. They lost that UFC lost Stitch, one of the greatest cut men's of all time, a celebrity himself, because of all his sponsorships he didn't want to give up. And you're just making these people, you know, at least they should be able to wear a flag or something, you know. Cruz is basically stepping up for the fighters, saying, you know, this guy is taking advantage of the situation. Fighters are already getting taken advantage of by the promotion. You know, they don't get paid out that much. The percentages of, you know, the promotion versus fighter pay is unlike any other sport, any other league or anything. And this guy kind of takes advantage of that because like the UFC has the fighters by the balls, so they have to work with him, and then he gets the clout off.
Whereas
of that.
Dana's kind of making it seem like, okay, if you don't like it, don't take the sponsorship. But it's like, well, I can't sub it out with Rockstar energy drink because it's not allowed.
Or anything
it's like,
else.
I can't wear a Nike shorts because Reebok owns the for now until the end of the
Or
month.
what was
right?
it? Dynamic fastener. No
Yeah.
more dynamic fastener. Where's that at? You know?
Yeah, Death Clutch. You
Death
know, all
Clutch
that
and
shit.
all that shit. Silver Star.
Affliction, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I get where Dana's coming from, and I get where Cruz is coming from. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Dana is Monster has given Dana.
It's
quite
a little bit of an
money.
indentured servitude.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is.
Right.
You know?
Well, sports in general, right? If you want to get down into it, you know.
Well, if you go like to like the NBA, which the athletes have the most clout for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're like it's like a 52-48. The players get paid over the owners.
Yeah.
And so like they're.
But
it all
at the end
depends
of the
by
day, when you
sport.
look at it, those owners are eating filet mignon, and these players are eating bottom round.
Oh, I know. I mean, the NBA minimum.
Yeah, like you said, indentured servitude.
And the NBA minimum salary is pretty well.
You know. Yeah, at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, those owners and shit.
Whereas like you look at like a UFC fighter, look, think about what an NBA player has to go through compared to a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
And I'm just paying their camp,
Well, the physicality
paying their
of it,
travel,
you know?
all they all that stuff they got to pay for themselves too,
Yeah.
and they're making a fraction of that money.
You
They're making
know,
regular
I mean,
people money.
NBA players, they freaking, you know.
Like if you're on that early prelims, we might make more money annually than them.
Yeah.
That's fucked up for what they're doing.
If they only fight once a year, we
Yeah,
probably make
you
more
know?
money than they do, yeah.
All right, let's move on.
But they only work for 20 minutes at the most.
hard
No, 25
20.
minutes at the
It's
most.
a hard
No,
25.
15 minutes at the
It's a
most.
hard 15.
You know.
Your favorite, Makachev,
Let's
calling
make
out
it happen.
Ferguson.
Closest thing we'll get to Habib and Tony, so.
I don't know. Okay. If this I think it should happen. I think it's great for both for all parties involved. Like Islam's rising up, Tony's a little bit higher in the rankings. There's that storyline already with the Tony and Khabib that never happened.
Yeah.
And if Islam wins, great, catapults him up into that top 5. But if Tony wins, it might get Khabib to come back and we get that Tony Khabib fight. Daniel Cormier said the only way he could see Khabib ever coming back is if somebody were to beat Islam and call them out, because Islam's like a brother to him. They train together, they live together, they've been friends since like elementary school. So he, could be with his honor and stuff like that. He can definitely see that happening where if somebody would beat him. So again, I think it's a win-win for everybody involved. Tony needs a fight. Islam's on the way up. I book it.
Yeah.
Lock it in there.
Make it happen. I'm down to see it.
Right.
Who wins that fight?
Probably Islam.
Yeah. I think Tony's on his way out.
Tony's done. I think his last couple fights, he's not shown me. Now, if Tony came back and won the fight and some crazy back elbow that knocked out Islam, I'm okay. I see that. But Tony's got a chance in every fight. But if I'm laying money, I'm laying on Islam.
I mean, he's young. He's haven't taken the shots
this
Tony's
is a bold
taken.
claim, but I think
beating.
Islam's a younger. But I think he's a younger, just as good version of Khabib.
Look how much bigger
Like,
Khabib looks than him, though. Right
at
there.
his age compared to what Islam at his age, Islam is better at this point than Khabib was.
He's got a lot of time too.
Right. So he's a serious fighter.
All right. Holly Holm, Pena off. Nunes and Pena.
Sure. It doesn't matter. Like, Pena, get your money. Go for it.
Yeah.
Take that ass whooping and get your money.
You're getting knocked the fuck out.
But that's only payday she don't get. She'll get a headline on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch this than Sharon Blachowicz.
Yeah.
Because I like watching Amanda Nunes beat the fuck out of women.
Yeah, she's gonna smoke her. But I mean, there is really not many other options. So
There's no
Right,
the division's dead. I mean, even 135, Nunes has beat all of them. All the good fighters, Nunes has beaten all. Like it's over. She's the greatest women's fighter of all time. We made our Rushmores this week, just for the hell of it. Very easy to put her on that.
Yeah.
You could very easily put her on there.
All right, we got last. What do we got here? So is
Now
What is
what?
happening?
Chimaev done? Is he not done?
Who knows? This is getting so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Like,
I mean, it says here I didn't see this in the press conference yesterday, but Dana White didn't sound anywhere near as confident about the future of the undefeated prospect. So I don't know. I mean, what?
Look, physically, this guy's amazing, right?
yeah,
In the cage, the stuff that he could do. Yeah, he hasn't had the top notch competition, but there's certain ways he moves. There's certain things that he does that shows he has the tools to be a great fighter. But if any time in your fight, whether you're young, old, if you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, that's a bad place to be.
That's what I'm thinking.
You got to be 100%
Especially
in
in this
that
game,
cage.
fuck.
You got to be in there at that division. There's killers there waiting for you.
The last thing you want to do is be, like fucking your head's not in it when people are trying to literally take your head off.
Right, exactly.
You're not sure of yourself. Fuck.
So if you're thinking about retire.
Right.
Take some time off,
Yeah.
and then see what. Don't come back and like, you know what? I don't want. I got to come back.
Yeah.
Take some time off. Don't fight anytime soon. You're young too, so you can take a year off and you'll be all right. Take a full year off. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it for this week. Remember, follow us on the Twitch before the fights start. These two jabronis are going to be fighting on UFC 4.
So know
My
your role.
revenge.
Watch Twitch.
Yeah. At Twitch TV / in the guard.
In the guard. And then, obviously, we're live tweeting every fight. So,
And if you guys want us to Twitch more, I have no problem playing video games. You guys watching me too, so we
Oh,
can do it
fuck yeah.
regularly. If we get a following, I'll do it. I play
Yeah.
video games every day anyway.
Yeah. You guys can give us specific rule sets. No
Yeah.
takedowns.
Right,
It's only
anything.
striking. Whatever. You got to win by sub.
Right.
We'll do whatever. Make it fun. Make it
Right.
interesting for us.
maybe you guys could bet on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Why not?
I know. I might throw.
We'll
a few
create our
fights.
own little sports book.
I might throw a few fights for the right odds.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, all those things.
Izzy 1, 1, 2, and 3.
Change his mind.
Hashtag still undefeated.
Later, y'all.
Good. That was a quick one. About an hour.